yourself. It is time to restructure your mindset to begin to think positively about public speaking, because if you are not able to address that, it will be difficult for anything that I train you here or coach you with or even teach you work for you. To be difficult. So we need to address your mindset. How do you think about public speaking? Firstly, you need to restructure your mindset in order for you to really become great at anything. Anything. If you've been having difficulty in mastering your figures like mathematics, the first thing I taught people while I was in school, because I had my first degree in mathematics and computer, the first thing that I taught people was to change their mindset. If you do not address your mindset, no matter how much we spend training and practicing, you will not succeed. But if you tell yourself, if you restructure your mind into believing that you have a better chance of becoming a great speaker, if you have a better chance of becoming a great speaker, then, only then can you become that possibility. Only then. If you have a negative pattern, nothing can help you, because everything starts from here. Remember James Allen? As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's scriptural. Good. So you need to start seeing yourself as a possible great speaker before you can become one. That's the first thing. And you have to also understand that becoming great at public speaking is nothing more than a few simple tips, a few simple techniques, tips, and disciplines practiced every day. How did I become great at speaking? I simply did what I have to do. I spoke every day. How do you become great at praying? You do it by praying. How do you become great at singing? You sing. So anything you want to become great at, you must practice every day at it. That is so simple. Now the question is, how many of us run away from public speaking? Almost all of us. I have been tempted to tell my boss, please, I don't want to speak. I think you should delegate someone else to do that presentation, or talk to some few people. There are times when you're not in the mood. I understand. But how many of us have really shied away from this simply because you have this mindset that you can't be great at speaking? So that needs to be addressed so that you can become, hungry, because it's only the one who is hungry and desirous that can improve faster. So this is important for your improvement in public speaking. And the next point here is it is practice and discipline that makes you the expert. The expert is simply someone who has practiced more than you. Honestly, you think expert is try to define experts. Expert is simply someone who has practiced more than you. So if you have been practicing all those years that you've been running away from public speaking, if you have been practicing with the techniques and tips and discipline yourself to do it, even in communities where you have been invited to speak, probably you might have been improved greatly. Well, you see, so many of us miss opportunities to improve ourselves. So that's the first lesson. Restructure your mindset so that you can begin to be on your way to your powerful self as a speaker. Yeah. Did I tell you that I was once into music? Yes, I was. So lesson 2, developing the mindset of a great speaker. The first thing under limiting mindsets as a lesson, the first lesson under limiting mindset and attitude worth dropping is Complaining. A lot of us find ourselves complaining. When my head of sales told me that I was going to handle a presentation for the next week to the customers that we visit, I grumbled. That was then. We're not now, because I look for all opportunity to sell myself. How many of you know that your ability to communicate is actually selling yourself? Right? Maybe you don't know whether you are just an entry level professional or you are an executive. Always embrace opportunity to speak. That's where you are selling yourself without actually saying it. Yes. So never you complain about public speaking opportunities whenever you're being asked to do something or whenever the opportunity comes to you. Don't complain. Secondly, don't associate anxiety to failure. So people feel like simply because they feel anxious about it, that they're going to fail. Don't associate anxiety to failure. I just told you that veterans feel nervous. I have been speaking for some time now, but anytime I am mounting a new stage, I feel nervous. The question is, do I have the techniques to control it mentally and physically? Absolutely. So you have to learn to master your anxiety. So never associate anxiety to failure. Anxiety can happen to anybody. In fact, you need anxiety to be your best as a public speaker. I'm going to share that with you. Yes, nervousness can actually be converted to excitement. Absolutely. How? Stick to the course. There's a lot to deliver to you. And the next mindset and attitude that's what's dropping is believing and saying you can't. See, Henry Ford said, if you believe that you can't, you're right. And if you believe that you can, you're right. So either way, you are right. So what does that tell you? Your belief system. What do you believe for yourself? What do you believe for yourself? In this journey, you are enrolled for the complete public speaking course with Polish and Excel. The question is, who do you hope to become at the end of this course? If you do not craft that image and that belief system, no matter what you learn here, you can never amount to so much. So we need to address this belief system that holds us back because it can sabotage your effort. It can. It can sabotage your effort in becoming great at speaking. So rather say I can, even when your mind doesn't believe that word. Keep saying it. Don't stop talking. Keep saying it. Say, I believe I can become great at speaking. And I can speak at TEDx. I can speak at Toastmasters. I can grace any global leadership platforms. I can. It starts from here. As he believeth in his heart, so is he. As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. And it does not just stop there. Talk it, mutter it, say it. That is it. Then avoiding it is another attitude entirely. Some of us, we avoid public speaking like a plague. How do you hope to improve in something you are avoiding? What is the opposite of avoiding to me? Desirous. If I'm desirous of something, I grab it. Yes, I grab it. So if you are desirous of improving in public speaking, then stop avoiding it. We have a lot to do here. When I ask you to speak, please speak, because this is now the platform for your improvement. And if I don't give you the chance, please DM me, call me, and ask me to put you on the spot, because this is the whole essence of the training, so that you become great at what you have enrolled for. Or what do you think? So stop avoiding it. Now, this is what's doing. Write it down. That from today henceforth, I will stop avoiding the opportunity to speak to my alumni. I will stop avoiding the opportunity to speak in church or in mocks. I will stop avoiding the opportunity to speak to groups. All right. Some of you need to make that decision now so that you can begin to see progress. All right. So the next here is, how do you develop the positive mindset? How do you ensure that you are doing the right and you put in the right mindset in place so that everything you're going to learn will be seated comfortably on the foundation of a positive mindset? One, be positive that you can, because positivity is power to your soul. Positivity is the power to mastery. Telling yourself that you can become great at speaking is the first step. And the second is study great speakers constantly. That is the adjective. You don't just study them, but study them constantly and consistently. And you study for different reasons, which I'm going to share with you. You are going to study for communication style. You're going to study for mannerism. You're going to study for the wrong mindset. You're going to study for the things that you need to drop and the things you need to embrace. So there are different reasons why you should study great speakers. You're not mimicking them, but you can pick one or two things from speakers that you can master. Like I tell you, I am not an island. That is why I can only teach you and coach you. But you can learn a lot by observing great speakers yourself, especially when I tell you what to look out for. Now, Teddy, talk yourself up. Talk yourself up. How many of you are going to start talking yourself up? How many of you are going to start telling yourself that you are a great speaker? I'm a world-renowned speaker. I am great at speaking. I am a great motivational speaker. I am impacting lives globally. Yes, my words are making impact all around the world. Wherever I go, I shake the ground. So here, as a salesperson, I am closing deals. So it depends on where you want your speaking to have impact. So always talk yourself up. Next to it is imagine it. Whenever you're being called to speak in an event, imagine it first. Visualize yourself giving a successful speech and receiving great applause. There is something that happens whenever we can conceive something in our mind. The mind begins to believe that it is possible. And the moment you believe it, you can accomplish it. Yes, absolutely. You can. So that's why visualization is key to success in public speaking. You need to start seeing yourself in a different light. Yes, you have to see first before you can become. Don't say, I'm painting what is not. How do you now become great at something? How? The Wright brothers who invented the airplane, they didn't see it anywhere. The first place where they saw it was in their mind. Thomas Edison, the inventor of light, he didn't see it anywhere. The first place he saw it was in his mind. So if you don't see your success in your mind, you can't create it. That is why you need to visualize. I hope somebody's getting it. Is that okay? All right. Next is practice. Practice. Somebody say practice. Yes, I love that word because that's what has made me who I am today. Practice. All the great pianists, all the great singers, all the great football players, all the volleyball players, all the handball players, all the great people who are great at what they do practiced, they rehearsed, they put in the work. So if you want to become great at public speaking, practice. Practice in the private, practice in the public, make all the mistakes. Because some of you, the reason why you are dodging, you are running, you are avoiding it is because you don't want to make mistakes. But how? How do you improve if you don't make mistakes? How do you improve if you don't embrace mistakes? How do we rise? We rise by falling. Yes. When you fall, you realize it and then you rise. How many of you know that failure teaches more? Make the mistake. Practice. Make the mistake. Record yourself. Watch yourself. Hate yourself. But don't stop there. The reason you're hating it is because you feel you are crude, you're not refined, you're not sound, you're not good enough. Critique yourself, but be fair. Be fair. One of the best things you could ever do for yourself is to forgive yourself and try again. Yes, try again. Keep trying until you become the best at what you do. There's a story that inspires me so much. A stammerer that was not given the opportunity to debate in his team. He wanted to, but he hated himself because he stammers. Before he could release words, they will laugh at him. He will feel low self-esteem. Do you know this guy avoided school for 3 months and told his mom, please leave me in the basement. The only thing that I want you to do for me is to bring me food. I will be here for the next 3 months and I'm going to change my life. This stammerer went into the basement and worked on himself. He rehearsed, he made mistakes, he rehearsed, he made mistakes until he became so confident in himself. 3 months later, he came in and applied to be among those who will be debating. When he came out, the school was shocked. The rousing applause that came shook and inspired me. A stammerer became an orator through practice. So it is possible to become your best. Just put in the work. Practice, review, correct. Practice, review, correct. There are different stages of that. Practice, review, correct is a circle. Practice, review, correct, non-stop will make you the best. So everything you're going to be hearing here today is just what you need. All you have to do is to put in the work. And lastly, create for yourself the opportunities to speak to groups. Don't say you are avoiding it. Remember, we've dropped that. Now, by yourself, become proactive in creating platforms that allow you to speak to people. If there are no such platforms, create one. Record yourself with a message, put it out there in social media. Whether you get likes or not, just keep putting it out there. One day, just one day, you'll be called upon to speak in an event. I assure you, these things do happen. It has happened to me, so I know. So put in the work. Don't be afraid to watch yourself speak. All right, create it. Some of you are going to create it. Pursue. So it's similar to pursue the opportunities to speak. Pursue it. Pursue the opportunities to speak. Pursue the opportunities to speak. You have to be very intentional in creating your own opportunities. So pursue it. All right. So this is the end of module 1. Congratulations. I hope you've set the table right for the next module. See you in the next module.